All right, what's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Another beautiful day. I think I say that way too often, but I love it, getting out here and enjoying just being out in the sun. Get some sun on your face. It produces vitamin D, kicks in feel-good hormones. It does a lot of really good things for you, but beyond getting out and having a good day myself, I wanted to share with you a little topic that my son is somebody I talk to all the time about stuff like this, and helping him develop a better character and becoming a good adult. And the topic for today is sell them whatever they'll buy. Plus, I'm also going to talk about the telephone effect, because they go hand in hand with this topic, because selling somebody whatever they'll buy is only a benefit for you. Everybody can agree with that. If this is something that isn't necessarily going to benefit them, but you can trick them into giving you money for something, okay? That's a really basic concept. Now, malicious intent is involved there, where you're purposely trying to deceive somebody specifically for your own gain. We can probably agree that's not a good thing, right? We don't want to treat people a way we wouldn't want to be treated, and we probably don't want to be ripped off. So it's probably safe to say the concept of selling people whatever they'll buy in a literal term, where you're giving them a product or service for money that is not equal value, where you're not providing as much value as what you're charging for in the back end, that's a bad way to operate. And there's a lot of people who don't sell things, but they still operate by this concept where they tell people whatever they want to, they think that that person wants to hear, so that they can morph themselves into being somebody in that situation that they feel the other person wants. And that's a bad way to operate as well. You're deviating from who you are as a person. You're saying who I really am is not good enough to put into this situation. And now we all do moderator activity based on the people that we're around, and that's normal for social acceptability purposes, but you still want to be yourself. If who you really are is that socially unacceptable, you may want to think a little bit differently about how you design your core beliefs. Now, if you're in a situation where you interact with somebody and you like that person, for example, you feel like this is somebody that you connect with, you have common interests with, and you say, yes, this is a cool person I want to spend time around. You start to develop a relationship with somebody, and eventually you can call them a friend. Whatever level of relationship you have with somebody, when you exchange goods and services or ideas and information, they have a level of trust and this inherent expectation for you to come through with integrity. And part of that, expected integrity is the belief that what you're bringing them is, first of all, relevant, secondly, valuable to the level that you say it is. So when you get a piece of information, for example, somebody tells you something, if you know that person and you feel like they're trustworthy and it's somebody you've known and they don't really lie to you, you're probably going to take them at face value. What they tell you about a situation or a piece of information, you're going to believe them as the truth. You put that inherent integrity aside. It's automatic. It's assumed that what they're telling you is real. And you're also making other assumptions that they know that either based on personal experience or at least research on other people's experiences. So when someone brings you a piece of information, or you're bringing information to somebody else, the person receiving that information has this automatic feeling that what you're bringing them is what you tell them it is. And so if you come to a situation and you want to provide value to somebody else because you feel like this is somebody that's awesome in your world and you want to share ideas, in an informational sense, check your references. Make sure that the information that you're sharing with this person is valid. don't use this telephone effect. And this is what I'm talking about, where somebody hears something and they immediately take it as gospel and they turn around and start telling other people. Now, not only if that information is incorrect or not valuable or not relevant or whatever it may be in that situation, that not only makes you look like an idiot because you're telling people wrong information, but now you're spreading false information that other people are also taking as true because you didn't do your due diligence. So in every situation, when you interact with somebody, when you engage with them and you share your thoughts and ideas, please, first of all, be genuine. Don't use false motives as a reason to interact with people only for your own personal benefit, because that's a short-lived thought process. You screw somebody, they're not going to interact with you for very long. Secondly, you screw enough people, nobody interacts with you because the word gets out. We live in a day and age where people talk to each other, right? And so it's important that stepping up to the plate with integrity and doing your due diligence to not only be educated when you share information with somebody, but secondly, do it from a standpoint of mutual value. And in my business, I do some business stuff, and in my business, the value is always arranged, the charge is always arranged based on the value that's provided. So I don't really have a standard fee for a lot of the stuff that I do because it's based on the project I'm working on and what's to come about from that. So that's always my initial mindset, is let me see what kind of value I can provide you, and then I'll let you know how much I want to charge based on what I feel that is. If I feel I'm only providing you with a little bit of value, I'm only going to charge you a little bit. But if I feel like I'm providing something that is immensely valuable for you, and you're able to turn around and use that information and create yourself a better life, or turn around and do something in your own world, then yeah, I feel okay with charging a little bit more for those kinds of services because I'm providing higher levels of value to you specifically. So the concept of selling people whatever they'll buy is an awful scenario that I see over and over, especially in the internet marketing world, where especially people who don't have money is usually the common source of this, where you're just trying to make $1. You're just trying to get by until next month. If you can make an extra $100 or $500, your world changes, right? Like everything is a bit different if you can just get some extra money in your pocket. And people operate from this place of desperation where they feel like if I just can make a couple of sales and get a little bit of money, then I can do something a little bit better, or I can buy this thing, or I can go on this trip, or whatever it may be, where they're out there promoting something simply for the purpose of selfish value, where if I sell this thing, I'm going to earn money. I don't really care what this thing is or who I'm selling it to or what they do with it afterwards. I just want them to give me money for this thing. And affiliate marketing is a big area where this happens, because people are willing to promote whatever that people will buy. They've never used this product or service. They've probably never even seen it. They have no idea what it does. They couldn't explain it to somebody on their own. But they're willing to go out there and tell everybody that they can come in contact with that this is the best thing since sliced bread, because if somebody turns around and accepts that as true and puts down their credit card and pays the money that this person says that this thing is worth, then they earn a commission and they get a little bit of money in their pocket. Now, regardless of what happens on the backside, that's on the buyer. So there's a term that is not something I made up by any means. It's caveat emptor. This is buyer beware. So on both sides of any transaction, where it's informational, goods and services for money, whatever it may be, both